A lot of work to get done for tomorrow.
Chemistry?
Drama.
So you can.
See you tonight.
Bye. Isaac starts to leave, but stops short.
I love you.
I love you too, Sylvie. Gotta go. I need to get ready for a closing call.
Fine, fine. Tell him I say hi, okay?
Sure thing. Isaac exits. Catherine begrudgingly gets out of bed. She starts tidying herself up over the following dialogue. Focus turns once again to Ben and Allura.
Miss Percy.
Oh, Catherine's other boyfriend.
Excuse me?
Yeah, she has 2 boyfriends.
So, what, she just dates both of them and they're okay with that?
Yeah, they've actually become good friends from what Isaac tells me.
What? People are weird.
Yeah, Catherine tried to explain it to me once, but it didn't really stick.
Well, what did she say?
It was something like,
Human monogamy is a fish swimming upstream, a cake that tastes bitter. It's a ridiculous contradiction. I simply choose to lie in a field with my palms open to the sky, embracing the warmth I experience rather than limit myself to a window seat view. Focus shifts back to Allura and Ben once again.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
yeah, that's Catherine. She can be a bit out there at times.
At least they're all happy, right?
I'm glad for them. I don't entirely get what I'm glad about, but I'm glad for them.
I just know that I can never do that. I'm way too selfish to let my girlfriend ever try it.
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, well, I do. Going on 8 months now.
What's her name?
Emma. You wouldn't know her. She doesn't go to school here.
Okay. How did you 2 meet?
That is a long and depressing story which you don't want to hear.
You sure about that?
Okay, fine. Just remember, I did warn you, okay?
Allura stands up and considers the best way to tell the story. She takes a few moments, pacing around the table. Eventually, she determines the general form the story should take.
This was about 2 years ago. It was winter break and I was at home. My parents like to go on vacation for the holidays so they can spend some time with me, but money was really tight this year, and so they had to keep working and take extra long shifts and all that.
What do your parents do for a living?
My dad works in a supermarket and my mom's a janitor at the local high school. Now, shh.
Sorry.
Anyway, it got really lonely in the house, and so I started going to this club about 20 minutes away.
And you? A club girl?
Hey, you'd be surprised. First 2 years of college, I went to a party practically every week.
Huh?
Now, do you want to hear the rest, or are you going to keep interrupting?
I'll be quiet.
Good. So one day I'm at the club, dancing, drinking the usual, and I'm flirting with this guy, and things are getting a little serious. And he starts touching me, I'm touching him, and I'm thinking I'm not going home alone tonight, when suddenly something in my head clicks. I am alone. I'm surrounded by hundreds of people, and yet I am alone. You'd have to understand, I was a really different person back then. Whenever I started feeling lonely, I'd find some party to go to, or I'd call someone up. Whoever it was at the time, it didn't really matter who, and eventually they'd leave, and there I was, alone again. No matter how many times I repeated that cycle, it always ended the same. I felt empty inside. I don't know why it took me so long to figure it out, but there it was, right below my feet. Rock bottom. I hit it. So I started crying and trembling, and before the guy could even ask me what was wrong, I'd run to the bathroom. I actually threw up in a stall. Did you know you could throw up from just being sad? I did. About half an hour passes by, although it feels like a lot longer. I go clean myself up, and I see this girl just sitting by the sink, staring at me. I figure she's thinking I was just broken up with and she's trying to be a rebound chick, so I'm waiting for her to use like a cheesy pickup line or ask me if I'm okay, but nothing. So I go up next to her, I turn on the sink, I'm running water over my hands, and all the while she's just staring at me with this calm smile on her face. And after a minute of me just running water on my hands, I get impatient and I ask her if she's okay. Finally, she says, I was wondering when you were going to ask me. She goes off on this 10-minute long rant about work and her family, and how everyone's too obsessed with themselves and how they feel. And she's like, why can't everyone be more empathetic, you know? I got more than a little upset. I mean, does this girl not understand how hypocritical she's being? But then I realized she's giving me someone else's problems to worry about rather than focus on my own. And I was frustrated, sure, but I felt something. It wasn't empty, you know? And would this have worked with most people? Probably not, and in plenty of cases would have just bugged the crap out of me. But it was absolutely what I needed. I guess she got lucky in that way. And so we kept talking, and one thing leads to another, And we went back to my place because no one was going to be there. But instead of having sex, we just do something I didn't think was possible. We just slept together. We held each other in our arms and felt the weight of another person holding ourselves up. I woke up and I cried because for the first time in months I didn't have trouble falling asleep. Yes, Ben.
I thought you and Emma have only been dating for 8 months.
Well, yeah, at first we didn't really think of it as dating. We would see each other whenever I went on break and spend almost every day together, but we both agreed it was a bad idea to try to be anything more when I was only in Florida for less than half a year. And she was okay with that, and then a year went by, and I'd stopped going to parties and slowly stopped hooking up with people, and Emma helped me realize I didn't want to anymore. I decided what I really wanted was someone who could be there for me, who I could love. And when no one else like that came around after a year, I figured maybe I wasn't meant to be in a relationship. I talked to Emma about this over February break, and I realized I was okay with that. I didn't need anyone. I could be independent, you know? And then she kissed me. And I still believe that I didn't need anyone, but it didn't matter. I wanted her. And there we are. That's how we met, and that's how we started dating.
Wow.
I warned you.
I mean, well, yeah, definitely not the most fun story, but wow, that was beautiful.
You think so?
Absolutely. You must really love her.
Yeah, I do.
Laura stares forward. She's daydreaming about Emma. Ben tries to give her though, but the vision is blurry. He can't make out a full image of her being. He tries to smile, but simply can't. He wonders if she's doing the same. Blackout. Scene 6. Ben and Isaac's room. It's Thursday. Ben is alone in his room. There are large amounts of sheet music scattered on the floor, with some crumpled into tiny balls. Ben is sitting down writing, and has clearly been doing so for the past few hours.
I'm trying to write a piece.
Ben begins to play the piano. It starts out slow in a minor key, but the tune quickly changes to be soft and smooth.
No, the tune is right, but the feel is wrong. The emotion, the passion, it's all too kind. There's no depth.
Ben picks up a wood instrument. He tries playing it, but ends up getting angry.
It's not strong enough. The wood's too timid to express its desire.
Ben closes his eyes slowly, trying to calm down. Music starts. It's Ben's song, the way it's meant to sound.
In my mind, I can see it. The warm colors of the bassoon that dances around the flutes, the curt statements of the clarinets, the vibrant explosion as the piece picks up, suddenly settling to a sizzling silence with the soft timpani, thump, thump, thump. It's a story, an expressive narrative, and it's right there.
Ben opens his eyes, and the music stops.
I know what you're telling me. I have so many things to say to you. How do I say it? I'm just not just writing some piece, and I'm not creating some song or sonnet. I'm expressing and exposing my deepest insecurities for all to see. I'm cutting myself and letting the blood trickle onto the page, forming thoughts on its own. I'm telling Perdita, I love you. I'm waiting for her to say it back. And then reality brings me back. It's open.
Isaac enters in the usual manner.
Hey, roomie, you decent?
Hey, Isaac. Yeah, come in.
Isaac fully enters the room. Once again, he's covered in ickies, different from the last set.
Thanks. Are you gonna be free for the next hour or two?
I'd have to check. Why do you ask?
A couple of friends from class and I are gonna go get dinner soon, and I wanted to see if you'd like to join us. It's cool if you're busy, though.
Sorry, I already ate. Thank you, though.
No worries. I actually also wanted to ask you about Saturday.
What about Saturday?
Well, I know you're helping out Catherine with her auditions, but it just so happens that Saturday is also her birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, a couple of her friends, myself included, are having a little surprise party for her when she gets back from the city. And I was wondering if you could text us when you get on the train back to school. I've been trying to get her to tell me what time she'll be heading back, but you know Catherine, she just loves being vague and poetic. The wind moves me through life, I'll return when the wind pushes me back, and that sort of beautiful but unhelpful stuff.
Okay, sure thing.
Ben returns to his work.
You know, I'm sure Catherine would love it if you came to the party too. Any chance I could convince you to at least stop by?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I was planning on doing some work that night. I'll have to get back to you about it.
One of these days, Ben, I'll get you to go to a party and actually meet people.
Thanks, but I don't really like parties.
I get that, but you haven't been to a single party since getting here, man. You won't know if you like them until you try. Besides, my friends want to hear your music.
They do?
Yeah, we always hear you when they come over. They're really curious how it sounds put together.
I mean, it's not exactly done yet.
So, we all want to hear what you got.
Maybe some other time, Isaac.
Okay then, I'll see you around.
Later.
Isaac exits, then goes back to playing the piano, but stops.
I'm waiting for Perdita to say, I love you.
Lights up on Perdita opposite Ben. She is both the physical being Perdita whom exists in reality and the imagined being Perdita whom Ben creates in his mind.
I love you.
Ben stands up and faces his imagined Perdita, looking past her.
Endlessly.
Focus off of Ben and simultaneously lights up on Andrew, who is standing between Perdita and where Ben stood. He is half dressed.
I know,
Aren't you going to say it back?
does need to be said.
Yes.
Okay, then I love you. Happy?
Perdita kisses Andrew.
Very.
Andrew smiles and holds Perdita for a moment. He then starts putting his clothes on.
So when exactly are you breaking up with that boy of yours?
Soon. I promise.
Yeah, soon. That's what you said last week.
And
And the week before that, and the week before that,
Andrew, please. I promise. I will.
tonight.
Be reasonable.
I'm being perfectly reasonable. Tonight.
Andrew, that's
I'm not
not...
going to be background boy. Tonight. Why walk? I don't need this, you know. I like you, but I don't need you.
I'll do it. Tonight. I promise.
Thank you. Hey, don't look so sad. You know it's for the best in the end. For both of you, really. Okay, could you do something for me? Smile? Much better. I've got class. I'll see you later.
Okay, I have a lot of work to get done for classes tonight though, so... But I can make time.
At least an hour?
Okay.
Great, I'll see you then.
Andrew passionately kisses Perdita and exits. Perdita sits on the ground, emotionally exhausted. Lights slowly up on Ben, facing Perdita. He is sympathetic. Neither of them is talking to the other, only ranting at the image of who they wished they were.
I wish you could understand, Ben.
I wish you would talk to me, Perdita.
You're hundreds of miles away, and I haven't had the chance to see you in 4 months.
Every time I try reaching out to you, the distance between us just gets larger and larger.
The fabric that interweaves our lives together is coming on